Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me for the Caring Cancerian May horoscope. Well, there's a lot happening this month. Yes, a terrific amount. We have Mercury going retrograde in Gemini. We also have Jupiter changing signs and houses. There's a lunar eclipse happening on the, 16th of the month, and that's in Scorpio, so that one's pretty intense. Just back to Mercury retrograde, it's from the 10th of May until the 3rd of June, but there's a few days either side of those dates, which is called shadow period, where the energy is coming on or going off. So it's still not a good time during the shadow period or when Mercury is retrograde proper. It's not a good time to sign contracts or enter into new agreements or start new things, basically. Travel can be really upset. And if you have multiple legs in a trip, you can get a knock-on effect where you run late on one and then you just muck up the whole trip if something's running late. Yeah, so there's also the possibility of glitches with technology as well, so do back up all your devices. But it is a great time for completing things you started before, say, the 5th of May or sometime like that. If you've started something, maybe you've got some old craft projects or something like that in the cupboard, you can go back and finish them. With the help of Mercury retrograde. So yeah, a lot happening. The other thing that's happening is Pluto went retrograde on the 29th of April until the 9th of October in Capricorn. So you might feel like you've been through the ringer or been through the washing machine. Because, if you want to update, you go from a wringer to modern washing machine. And if you do feel like that, you might find that from now on, basically, even with Mercury retrograde, that you're actually feeling a little bit better because there's a reprieve. Things slow down, so there's not as much turbulence to deal with. Having said that, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, because of the time differences down here, we're also getting a partial solar eclipse on the 1st of the month, and that's in Taurus. So there could be some really physical changes. I'll talk about this in a moment, what it means for you. But the rest of the world had their partial solar eclipse on the 30th of April, basically. Yeah. So a lot happening for everybody, and so it might be a good time this month for you, Caring Cancerians, to have time out, because, the lunar eclipse especially is going to affect you because the moon is your ruling planet, okay? So even though I know technically the moon's not a planet, neither is the sun, in astrology, we still regard them as planets because they do still have quite a strong effect in our lives, in fact. All right, I'll just briefly explain. I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then I'll look at your horoscope in depth. Let's go to the board now, and if you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell. All right, here's your horoscope. We'll come to in a minute what all these funny, strange symbols mean. But let's choose the cards first. We'll draw 2 cards. You can think of the first one as the first half of the month if you wish. All right, closing my eyes. Steps in front of me. I've sort of the sensation or the feeling of lightness around it, like a little fairy. Something could be hard, or it should be hard, but it's not as hard as what you think it's going to be. The fairy sort of gives this feeling of lightness and a bit of energy, feeling a bit more vital. So you can take on a bit more. Maybe with Pluto being retrograde, that's sort of like a bit of a weight off your shoulders, so you feel like you can do more. We have the 8 of Cups here. This is about moving forward from a sort of emotional situation or emotional entanglement. Could be a relationship or a job that you're leaving, perhaps. And you'll see here that she's dressed in green for growth and opportunity. And we have the new moon up here just starting to wax. You see this silver crescent here. So a sign of new beginnings. And the new moon is at the end of the month on the 30th of month. So I will talk about that, what that means. But yeah, moving away from emotional entanglements and getting on with your life. Yes, there's still challenges. Challenges are always there. See the hills here, but moving under your own steam and getting there. So it's quite a positive card. And let's look at the second half of the month now and see what comes up. I'm going to go for that one under there. Right. Okay, closing my eyes. What do I see? I see the shoreline. So the focus here is on the ocean and the earth, the shoreline. And it's about the balance of your emotions and what you can do practically and physically, you know, because sometimes, especially for the water signs, there's so Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, there's a great sort of pull towards overestimating the emotions or letting the emotions take undue control of your life. So this is about balance between your emotions and your physical body, physicality. And we come up with the Lovers, which is all about balance, okay, between the opposites, okay. So sometimes it's a bit push me, pull you. There's a bit of opposing energy between these two. You can see they're pushing each other away in this card, and then they join together, and then they push each other away, and so on. But the angels are watching this, you know, standing over everything, sort of watching. And the moon here, the turbulence of the subconscious. So you might be, you know, maybe you're in a relationship like that, that's a bit push me, pull you, you know, commitment, non-commitment, commitment, non-commitment. Eventually the pendulum's going to swing and you're going to wind up somewhere which is a balance. The whole point really of a relationship is for the other person to reflect our subconscious back to us, so you know we can work on ourselves. There's a snake down the bottom here indicating transformation. No, it's not an evil thing. A snake you know, loses its skin every year, I think it is, every year, and that's because it's growing, okay, and you're growing too. So it's a wonderful card, even if it doesn't feel wonderful all the time, because something is on again, off again, and like that. All right, I'm going to make this a bit bigger so you can see it better, and I'll move that up there. All right, we have a lot happening, maybe over like that. And then we have these two cards here. All right. Okay, now looking at your horoscope, firstly, on the 1st of May, the partial solar eclipse for Australia and New Zealand residents only, and this is in your 11th house of friends, connections, groups. It's also hopes and dreams as well. Just move that back there. Hopes and dreams as well. So it's like a new beginning starts regarding your connections, friends or groups. Maybe you have the feeling that you need some sort of support or some sort or more interaction with your community, okay? Maybe you need more emotional contacts with people who are of like mind to you, you know, so they're on the same page as you in some respect, okay? So this is all about deepening the closeness between you and other people, okay? It's also a time when you might socialise and, you know, maybe go to cultural events or things in your own locality, and participating in group efforts as well. Okay, so new beginnings there. The 1st of May till the 28th of May sees Venus move into your 10th house here. So it's been in the 9th house. So much has been going on in your 9th house about broadening your spirituality, growing your life, your philosophies, your belief systems. Now it's moving into the 10th house. So this is great if you have a job, for example, if you have a career. It brings a lot of harmony, peace, easy sort of relationships with your mission in life. If you don't know what your mission in life is, this sort of smooths the way a little bit. Your social standing could also be improved under this influence, and there might be quite personal contact with people who are influential or in positions of seniority or influence, basically. So you could meet a beautiful person through work, or you make friends at work, and you could meet someone charming through work. So it's a great time now also to enhance your public standing. You might do better than usual on social media, for example. From the 30th of April to the 9th of May, Jupiter conjuncts Venus, and this is fabulous for smoothing your way through life. The bumps are sort of ironed out a little bit, and it's really like this. You get going, you're moving freely, like this card. The only issue, sometimes we want to spend a lot of money, especially with Venus. She does look after money, but she tends to fritter it on beautiful things and on, social experiences and things like that. So you might have quite an urge to splurge at the moment. So just, watch that. She also likes sweet things, Venus, so don't overdo the, the pies or the cakes and things like that. So you might find it's hard to diet at the moment or even watch what you eat, okay? But you're more in a fun-loving mood, and it's a very social time. It's a great time to go to parties, throw a party yourself. It's probably going to end up being, quite beneficial for all concerned. You could also get some sort of bonus or gift, and if you are spending money, you might find there's extras that come with whatever you buy. You have a bit of a lucky streak at the moment, but just be careful you don't overspend. From the 5th of May to the 27th of October, Jupiter moves into your 10th house. So this really grows your ideas about your vocation or what your mission in life is. You could get a new job, you could advance somehow in your career, there's a promotion. And could bring more money as well. You could get some sort of award or reward. The public sort of recognises you more than ever, and if you're working in a group, the other people in your group recognise your talent and ability, basically. So it is a time of public recognition for your efforts if you have been working hard. But if you're not happy in what you've been doing, you might really sort of contemplate it now and change directions in life until you can find a direction that suits you better, basically. Okay, it's a very favourable influence, actually, and I just want to add that, under this influence, often people do accomplish their dreams. From the 5th of May to the 15th of May, Jupiter squares your ascendant. With this, usually you think, square, it's a hard influence, a difficult influence, but when Jupiter's involved, no, it doesn't tend to be hard or difficult. In fact, there could be some sort of promising opportunity that comes up at the moment. Somebody might offer you a deal. Just be careful you do, sufficient research. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. But there's a lot of potential here for opening up new avenues in your life. The only possible downside is that if you're overconfident, but with a square, you're probably not going to be overconfident. It might be that you're underconfident and that you don't take the opportunities as they're presented because you're not feeling that you can do it, but go for it is what I would say. So it's a great idea to advance, as in this card, move forward, pursue opportunities and do some sort of research, make a plan, and investigate everything that you can. Avoid wild speculation. It'll probably work out, in fact. The 16th of May sees a lunar eclipse in Scorpio here in your 5th house. This is also great for socialising. It's fabulous, in fact. There could be some quite intense feelings come up, and you want to come out of your shell and you want to enjoy life a little bit, and I think that's a good idea. Allow your real feelings to come out. You could be feeling more playful or dramatic than usual. Maybe you enjoy playing games, being creative. Maybe even romances on the cards if you're looking for a romance. There's something sort of major that's likely to be transformed in your life, and romance could be the area of life where that happens. 13th of May to the 24th of May, Jupiter sextiles Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is retrograde now, so that sort of puts a dampener on things, because there's likely to be long distance communications and business dealings that are successful, but with Mercury retrograde, it could slow down, or there's some sort of glitch. It doesn't go as smoothly as what it normally would, but that doesn't mean you should give up. I would still pursue any opportunities that come up and just plan for delays. You can work through the glitches. You can still get there to where you want to go, basically. Okay, you can get there. Just watch for misunderstandings. Back everything up, with an email. Put it in writing so they understand exactly what you're saying. 19th of May to the 21st of June sees the Sun move into your 12th house here. And this indicates it's a great time to retreat from the world, have some quiet time, look at your dreams, meditate, catch those little flashes you might have in the daytime that we usually are too busy to notice. But sometimes just something pops into your mind and you're not sure where it comes from. Write them all down. Maybe you don't feel very ambitious at the moment. You might feel like relaxing. You're not very competitive, and that's probably a good thing. 22nd of May to the 13th of June, Mercury is in your 11th house, mostly retrograde, so it's going backwards into the 11th house here. And do watch for miscommunications or misunderstandings with friends and groups. Maybe you plan to go out and something happens and there's last minute changes. It could be changes with getting there, with the, travel arrangements, or if you're to meet at a place, maybe that meeting place changes at the last moment. So yeah, you've got to watch that. But yeah, still go out and socialise and have a good time. 23rd of May to the 4th of July sees Mars moving into your 10th house here, from the 9th into the 10th, and you could be very much motivated to look at your professional goals, look at your career, your vocation, or maybe you want to improve your reputation in somehow. Maybe you want to advertise, for example. Mars brings a lot of energy and it's very forward directed, and sometimes people can get a bit irritable or impatient with this, so that's what you've got to watch there. Try to control your temper is the main thing. If you've got a temper, that is, not everybody does. You could have such a strong urge to act that you act too quickly without thinking about it. Don't rush. It's very important that you go at a moderate pace. Don't rush headlong into things, because that's how accidents happen, and Mars can cause accidents and incidents, okay? Waiting is appropriate sometimes. 22nd of May to the 26th of May, Mercury sextiles Venus again. It's retrograde, so could be some sort of delay in communications, but there's likely to be a friendly, cooperative tone to the interactions you have now. It's a great time for social activities. Just double check all of the details, get in touch with friends. Maybe you're interested in reading light fiction, going out to a romantic comedy, or just sweet, lovely, relaxing things under the auspices of Venus. Okay, you're more likely to be in tune with your feelings now. 23rd of May to the 27th, Mercury trines Pluto, and Mercury is still retrograde, bringing a great depth to your conversations, but do watch that you don't reveal secrets or very private matters, because you might find you're coming across very mysterious type issues, and it's best to really have a think about what they mean before you tell anybody, I think. It's almost like superficial answers don't satisfy you now. You can feel it in your gut that something's not right, and you want to get to the core of the matter. It's an excellent time to investigate a complex problem or a mystery. It's also a good time for finding something that has been lost. Sometimes Mercury brings things back from the past when it's retrograde, and so you might hear news about people you used to know. Maybe there's some news about a school reunion or an ex or something like that you find out. If an ex does come back into your life, and it is possible with this Mercury trining Pluto energy, ask yourself, why are they an ex? Has anything changed? Because it's very difficult for a leopard to change its spots, basically. 24th of May to the 28th of May, Mercury retrograde sextiles Jupiter. You're likely to be optimistic, hopeful, and forward-looking. Just don't rush into things. Maybe you can see connections and possibilities you may have overlooked before. And you might want to communicate your enthusiasm, share your plans and dreams. Be very clear how you do that. And again, it's good to put in writing so there's no misunderstandings. Maybe you're looking at contracts and negotiations and business dealings. If you can put off signing anything until after, say, about the 10th of June because of the shadow period. So Mercury turns direct on the 3rd, but then you've got the shadow period. So the 10th, that might be better if you could do that. If you can't do that and you sign, just know that you might have to go back and revisit the contract and change something. You order a white car, for example, and then you find that there's no white cars in the country, and then you have to choose a new colour, or something like that could happen. 27th of May to the 22nd of June, Venus is in your 11th house. This is fabulous for meeting new people, and it's either, professionals or on a personal sort of level. There's a friendly, cooperative attitude that you're likely to feel, and it's just great to go out, socialise, go to parties, and get together with friends. And finally, the new moon is in your 12th house. You could be feeling especially sensitive or psychic, perhaps, and especially you, Cancer, with the moon as your ruler. You could be picking up all manner of psychic things, and intuition might be really, on full bore. It's a great time to meditate, pay special attention to your dreams, and contemplate your life, generally speaking. So plant some seeds in your spiritual life, and these will likely to rejuvenate and enliven you in the future. Alrighty, so that's it. So, a fair bit of energy happening and a lot affecting your emotions, caring Cancerians, but, there's some real silver linings here and a lot of benefits coming to you as well. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and if you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, thanks again, and thanks for watching. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.